Video camera here because I need to make sure that I am still green and growing. Well, I'm green and growing because Manette's going to teach me something today, as you will do yourself. So, without further ado, I would like you to give, I'm talking feet, hands, anything, noise. I want you to give one of those stampede, those big claps, the cheers and everything for the one, the only, Mrs. Manette Kadam! I'll hand over to Manette.
I know because of those loud classes, you really came from Macho. We are actually family because we were actually developed by your main man. So, Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would like to share...
His head's already big.
to you. I hope you will learn from it. It's, sorry, I know it's recorded. You're sorry because I don't really follow the script, to tell you honestly. That's why I'm afraid to do this presentation. But hopefully you will learn from it.
Absolutely.
Shall I go now?
Absolutely.
Basically, most of us are health conscious and we know there is a problem, but we don't have a choice. We have to cook using our pots and pans. Yeah. So basically, the Health Nutrition Authority have actually listed 6 enemies to nutrition, which we are aware of, but because we are not conscious about it, or we don't have a choice, we just forget about it and we just cook as we have to live to eat. So first is through peeling. They actually say when we peel, we lose the goodness of the food itself. So nutritionist says anything that grows under the ground, the vitamins and mineral is just underneath the skin. So just like the potatoes, every time we peel it, we tend to peel it thickly. Unconsciously, even if we use a peeler, we tend to peel it thickly. So what happens is, if you peel a potato, you lose the potassium and the magnesium, because potato has potassium, which is very good for contraction of the heart, and magnesium good for indigestion. So what happens is, if there is an imbalance between these two, it just creates something adverse effect inside our body. So we end up eating the starch that would increase our cholesterol and increase our blood sugar. That's why they actually said potatoes, they're not really good for diabetic patients. Next is, if anything that grows above the ground, the vitamins and mineral is actually in the core. So an example of this is cabbage. When we tend to cook the cabbage, what do we normally throw out of the cabbage?
The core.
The core. Basically, why? Why do you have to throw the core?
It's too hard to cut.
Too hard and it's too bitter. So unconsciously we throw out the goodness, because what we did realize is in the core we have the pepsin, which is very good for indigestion again. So if we have indigestion, heartburn, we tend to go to our chemist to buy Gaviscon and Renin. But we have it inside the core of the cabbage. So basically, to save money, again, save the core and cook it with our health system. Second is cooking water. Every time we cook the vegetable, we have to use water. Have you ever cooked vegetable without using water?
No.
No. Why?
Because it'll burn.
You burn.
It's the traditional way of doing things, isn't it?
It's the traditional way of doing it. But what happens is, if we boil a carrot or we cook the carrot in water, what is the color of the water after cooking it?
Orange.
So it
Yeah.
means it actually leaches out. That is the vitamins and minerals leaching out of the vegetable. So it means if there is a change in color, we are losing the vitamins and minerals to it. So as much as possible, cook your vegetables without water, but because you are using your pots and pans, you can't. That's why we offer our health system wherein you can retain the goodness just merely by cooking your vegetable with its own natural juice. Third is oxidation. They actually said oxidation is exposure to light and air. When you tend to cook your food, as much as possible cover the lid. But how many times would you open and look into your cooking?
Yeah.
A lot of
Lot of
times.
times, yeah.
Why is that?
Check.
Because or else it would
Right.
burn, it would stick. So it means we are losing the nutrients unconsciously because we are used to that traditional way of cooking. We have to open and look into the pan to see if it's already cooked, it doesn't stick, or we just have to turn it down. So unconsciously we're losing the goodness of every meal that we cook. In Salad Master, there is less of exposure to light and air because we just have to close the lid. Nothing will stick, nothing will burn because you're just using medium heat and you are not using oil. So it won't stick, it won't burn. Plus because it has a system where it could alert you by the time it reaches the safest temperature, then it means it's safe to cook unattendedly. Oxidation, an example of this is like if you bite an apple, leave it in one side, what happens to it? Turns brown. The brownish discoloration is because it was exposed to light and air, dead vitamins and minerals. Same principle when they are using the baby's bottle, like the paracetamol, or even our medication, it comes coated. The reason for that is if they put it in transparent bottle or in like exposed form, exposure to light and air decreases the potency of it. That's why oxidation is a very important when it comes to maximizing nutrition. Then we have the high heat. When we actually cook, we boil our food. The reason is we want to kill the germs and bacteria. The safest temperature is 90 degrees. This is the temperature they use to pasteurize milk. But they have to pasteurize milk 12 hours using 90 degrees. Do you have 12 hours to cook your food using 90 degrees to keep the germs and bacteria dead but retain the vitamins and minerals?
No.
No. We are time challenged. So what happens is we tend to put it on high heat. And consciously, we are killing the vitamins and minerals because they're heat sensitive. So therefore, we know boiling is not cooking. Boiling is killing the germs, but it's killing the vitamins and minerals as well. That's why most people would say steaming is better than boiling. Would you agree?
Yeah.
But when you actually steam a broccoli, what is the color of the water at the bottom of the pan? Green. So it means unconsciously we are losing the nutrients of the food that we actually cook. The reason why it tends to be greenish is if you steam, you are still using over 100 degrees centigrade of temperature of heat. It means the safest temperature is 90. Even steaming is not good. Next to high heat is microwave. Are we using microwave every time we heat or cook our food? Not anymore.